often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show under the world of outlaws.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you tonight to the Dre Broadcasting Network as we go side by side with the Extreme Motorsports 99. We are coming to you live tonight from Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Advocare 500 and round 2 of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series, brought to you by Extreme Motorsports 99. I'm your commentator, Sean Zulu. I am joined up in the Dre Broadcasting booth by my good friend and producer, Dave Everly. Hi inside, Dave.
I'm doing great. How you doing, Sean?
Oh, doing good too, thank you. After going last week, round 1, Daytona 85 at Daytona International, wide open track, draft dependent track, and going to a driver's track right here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. But draft as well should not be counted out, because draft will really help these drivers, well, work for some, but then against others. But Dave, what are we dealing with tonight?
Taking a look at tonight's weather, we are looking at 78 degrees with a track temperature of 86 degrees, wind north at 2 mile an hour under partly cloudy conditions.
Yep, and the drivers are accompanied by a 50% fuel limit as usual here for the K&N cars this season, all season long, including last season too. 50% fuel limit here. For 111 laps, that is 111 laps, which will give us, we should expect to see 3 pit stops. The drivers should be making 3 pit stops in order for them to be able to make it the full length of the race, and the pit window should be in between laps number 20, 25 through 30. Actually, no, I should say 30 through 40. So with that said, yep, 3 green flag pit stops on the way. So fingers crossed for that. And just a recap from last week's race, the Daytona 85, race 1 of 15. Tommy Amasi did bring it home for his first win of the season. Great start by Tommy Amasi. Damian Crump came out second. Garrett Helmlinger, a new driver this season, came out third. Andrew Singleton, new driver as well, came out fourth. Derek Stalick, a returning driver, fifth. Ralph Vanderforst, Mr. Highside himself, sixth. Chris Voiles, new to the Pro K&N Series here with the Extreme Motorsports 99, came out seventh. Andrew Riley, additional driver as well, returning driver I should say, 8th, Adam Eisenhower 9th, and Chris Gillam did round up the top 10. And going over our point standings here, the points are very, very close, because we only have 1 race, and that was last week's race, Daytona 85. Well, Damian Crump and Tommy Amasi are both tied for the lead in points. So once again, Damian Crump, Tommy Amasi tied for the lead. Andrew Singleton second in points. Garrett Helmlinger third. Derek Stalicker and Ralph Vanderforst tied for fourth. That's going to be Ralph Vanderforst. We have Chris Voiles fifth in points. Andrew Riley sixth. Adam Eisenhower seventh. Actually, Adam Eisenhower is tied. Well, we have 3 drivers tied for 7th place, excuse me. Adam Eisenhower, Chris Gillam, including Thomas Jowers Jr. So Adam Eisenhower, Chris Gillam, Thomas Jowers Jr. going for a tiebreaker tonight to break that tie of the 3 drivers. Brian Wasserman 9th in points and Dakota Craig in the 10th place position. And that is the top 10 in points this far, but that will change. That will bounce up and down all season long. Once again, this is round number 2 of 15. So with that said, we have 13 more races after this. So a lot of room for error for these drivers, but not too much room. But that is a lot of time to get the job done. And looking in the chat, we have our viewers. We have James Peterson. We haven't seen James in a very long time. Last time we saw him was, I believe, round 4 of both the Pro K&N Series and the Track Series last season. But it's good to see this driver back again here with the Extreme Motorsports 99. And hopefully we get an interview with him here before the race ends. And Bandit Racing 28. That's the 28 of Chris Voiles, new to the Pro K&N Series with the Extreme Motorsports 99.com this season. With his teammate 75 of Wally Tierheimer. And Vern Bradley as well in the chat. Good to see there, Vern. And Vern Bradley is one of the admins here with the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series, keeping these drivers in check, being the eye in the sky. And we also have Carol Winnikoff in the chat, rooting for the Jim Peterson in the 58. Good to see there, Carol. It's been a very long time, but good to see you back. Well, we have now advanced into the gridding session here, so we will give the drivers a few seconds before we go down the starting order. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our post-sitter tonight for round 2 Atlanta Motor Speedway is Mr. Highside himself from last season, Ralph van der Forst, that 47 of Dirk Stalaker second, Damian Crump starting third, 48 of Christopher Smith fourth, 81 Travis Pryor fifth, the 10 of Caleb Daniels sixth, the 23 Vernon Markheim seventh, Garrett Helmlinger eighth, the 67 of John Mustian Jr. 9th, 86 Adam Eisenhower 10th, the 98 of Dakota Craig 11th, the 40 of Joshua Gillen 12th, the 28 Chris Voiles 13th, the 79 of Thomas Jowers Jr. 14th, the 36 of Jason Eisenhower rounding up that top 15. 01 Leandro Castro Alien from last week at Daytona starting tonight here in the 16th place spot. Had a rough end to last week's race, but a very good beginning by Leandro Castro, but he will be trying to take some more names here tonight at Atlanta. We have the 77 of Brian Wasserman 17th, James Bales 18th. Actually, scratch that. Looks like James is not racing. We have Timothy McBrayer 19th, Wally Tierheimer 20th, Brandon Slaw 21st, Chris Gillum 22nd, Jay Pryor 23rd, we have David White 24th, Jeremy Rigney 25th, Rick Mason 26th, Eli Green 27th, Gary Woobot 28th, Andrew Riley 29th, and James or Jim Peterson in the 30th place position. And the last driver qualifying tonight is the 49 of Timothy Hamlet. And rounding up the rest of the field here tonight include we're going to have Max Brady and Tommy Amasi, and that's going to give us about a 30 car field tonight, so the 30 drivers starting tonight's race. Well, going back up front here, we are now rolling for the first time, being led once again by the post-hitter, Mr. Highside himself, Ralph van der Forst, and he will most likely live up to his name here tonight, because the Highside will kick in here before too long, most likely above 10 laps on their tires. That outside line should come to life, and Ralph will have Damian Crump behind him on the inside. On the outside is the 47 of Dirk Stalaker leading the outside with the help of the 48 of Christopher Smith going green. The pace car dips off this time by Ralph, still holding pace speed. The green flag flies. He puts on the floorboard. He does catch everybody off guard. They will try their best to outshift each other to try and make up some time here before the exit of turn number 2. The outside line is the worst place to be on a start or restart, because you do lose some time, but as soon as you get up to speed, that will change. And so far, 81 Travis Pryor already being shown third behind the 47. Actually, that's going to be the 44 of Damian Crump. And Patty in the chat as well, checking in. Welcome back, Patty. Good to see you. Rooting for the 81 of Travis Pryor and the 80 of Jay Pryor. And here for the back in the pack, we have some drivers already making some moves. Double wide, 94, Garrett Hemlinger on the outside of 98 of Dakota Craig, side by side still throughout the front straightaway. And Dave, one thing about this track is that, the good thing about it is that the first 10 to 15 laps, the drivers can go wide open, and that means the draft is very key and the inside line.
Yeah, most definitely, Sean, but these guys got a long race, 111 laps here at Atlanta, so still got a lot of laps left to go.
Yep, the race is still very young, and at this point, the drivers are trying their best to just, try and make up as much time as they can, trying to make up some spots while they can, because once they have to start lifting and actually driving these machines, things will change for them. And for the back in the pack, 28 of Chris Voiles being challenged by the 36 of Jason Eisenhower, sorry, with the Eisenhower Racing crew. And behind Jason is the 40 of Joshua Gillen. This fine. And behind him is 7 of Brian Wasserman here, gets overtaken by the 75 of Wado, a driver going sideways off the track. That was 36, Jason Eisenhower, nice save. Holy cow, and we stay green. But that save there is really costly for Jason Eisenhower. He has gone from about 10th place to 18th place in one lap. and so far is still dropping. Looks like he got a little bit too friendly with the apron, which did send that machine sideways, but he was able to hang on to it and keep it away from ongoing traffic or oncoming traffic or bypassing traffic. And 78 so far, Jeremy Rigney to the inside of Jason Eisenhower. Gonna make a move against him, yes. And Jeremy makes the pass successfully against Jason Eisenhower, and that bumps Jason down to his 21st place from 20th. And already here we are, still early on in tonight's race, lap number 6 of 111, and drivers already making moves. We do already have some heavy movers. We have Wally Tierheimer from 20th place to 12th, and making up time as we speak. Brian Wasserman from 17th to 14th. Jay Pryor from 23rd to 15th. Oh, contact here in the back of the pack. Adam Eisenhower and the 23 of Vern Markheim get into it, but no harm done to both drivers. Nah, not so much. Well, they do have some scratches to show for it, or some paint exchange, but we are still staying green on lap 7. Oh, NASCAR Painter in the chat. Good to see there, NASCAR Painter. It has been a while indeed. It has been way too long. And thank you for coming back. Welcome back. Yeah, NASCAR Painter was the sponsor for the 4 of Michael Snow last season right here in the Pro K&N Series. Michael Snow, a very, very amazing driver. And we look forward to seeing the driver back, because he is not racing here tonight, unfortunately. We look forward to seeing him here back with us before too long. And so far, some side-by-side going on still. The 47 of Dirk Staliker here being challenged by the 10 of Daniels. And Daniels does end up backing it down to just right for now. And up front, Ralph Vanderforst just having a Sunday drive so far, ahead of the 44 of Damian Crump. Oh, looks like Ralph Vanderforst had some bad luck. He sustained some right front damage. Goes from hero to almost zero really quickly. He goes from first place to about a battle for 4th place with the 47 of Dirk Staliker. But Staliker had a bad exit to turn 2. And that does benefit the 66 of Ralph Vanderforst, who will be able to maintain the 4th place spot. And as we speak here with the 44 of Damian Crump, trying to make a move against the 48 of Christopher Smith for 2nd place, and Travis Pryor, new race leader on lap 11.
Yeah, Travis Pryor taking the lead here. He's actually pulled out to a pretty good gap, 7/10 over 2nd place. Is Damian Crump and Charles Smith are battling out side by side here, coming into turn number 3.
Yep, 1 lead change this far, 100 more lead changes to come, as we are tackling 2 laps a minute. That is 2 laps per minute. These the caution flies here on lap number 12. We are gonna back it up. You see what have been involved.
That's going to involve the 66 of Ralph Vanderhorst as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting instant replay here, focusing on the 66 of Ralph Vanderhorst. Looks like he was riding right there, coming out of the turn. Oh, that car just breaks loose and sends him down to the inside there. Highly unfortunate there. See if we can get another angle here as he's coming out of turn number 4. Actually, it looks like it might have been a little bit of netcode between him and the 47 of Dirk Staliker. But he keeps it off the wall, but that is going to bring out our first caution.
Absolutely, very unfortunate indeed. Very unfortunate indeed for the 66 of Ralph Vanderforst. But he will be going down pit road to most likely get some damage fixed, because he got a little bit too friendly with the turn 4 wall while in the lead of the race a couple of laps back, and ended up losing the lead due to that, or as a result. So he most likely will be going down pit road to get the damage fixed, but by the looks of it, it wasn't affecting him too much. And by the looks of it, it most likely is going to affect the rotation of the machine, if any. But going back up front here, Travis Pryor leading still. 48, Christopher Smith 2nd, Damian Crump 3rd, Dirk Staliker 4th, and Caleb Daniels in the 5th place spot. And Travis Pryor leads everybody down pit road this time by. And do we have drivers staying out? So far, nope, nobody staying out. Everybody going down pit road. And going in the chat there, we have a new driver, well, a new viewer, a returning viewer to the Dre Broadcasting Network tonight to the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series. They call me Red. Welcome back, buddy. Welcome back. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are there in the chat and have not yet said a thing in the chat, please type it up, say something. We'll give you a shout out. Also tell us exactly who you're rooting for tonight. We know who some drivers, who some viewers are cheering on, but some we have no idea. So please feel free to type it up in the chat and get active in there. And make yourself some friends. And once again, let us know who you're rooting for tonight. And as we're interviewing them, we are going to let them know. And Travis Pryor was able to lead on and off pit road. Christopher Smith still comes out second. Actually, scratch that. Vernon Markham comes out second. Christopher Smith third. Caleb Daniels fourth. And Damian Crump in the 5th place spot. And if we do not go on to green this time, by that will give us some time to get a race interview in. So fingers crossed. Yep, there we go. The lines of the pace car do stay on. So yes, the interview is coming up. We're gonna interview the 80 of Jay Pryor. Well, ladies and gentlemen, up here in the Dre Broadcasting booth is a representer, one of the representers of the Maverick Motorsports team, a new driver this season to the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series 80 of Jay Pryor. Get a cup there, Jay. Jay Pryor, got a cup there, buddy. Oh, looks like you're in the wrong room there. Oh, I heard something there. I heard some sound.
You got me, Sean?
There we go, loud and clear. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Just hanging out here in the back trying to save my car.
Well, Jay, I would like to disagree with that. You know, we saw you making some headway during the first green flag run we just had. You went from about 23rd to about 15th place, and then the caution did interrupt your moves, but now you are back here in the 21st place spot behind Jason Eisenhower. And last week, Jay, your first race was not the best at Daytona International. You finished multiple laps down, but tonight you are now back trying to redeem yourself, trying to do some damage to the track and these drivers tonight. But how's the machine handling? How's the machine treating you?
I'm just trying to get a handle on it, try to learn the car, and just having little problems with my pit stops and everything, but that's something I'm working on. Making some rookie mistakes.
Oh, 10-4, man. And by the looks of it, man, by the sounds of it, you will be able to brush up on that, and you will be used to the machine before too long. And Jay, tonight you've been doing an amazing job once again with only 16 laps in this far, but it is looking very, very promising for you. And with that said, where should we expect to see you on lap 111?
I'd like to just get a top 10 finish tonight. I appreciate you.
Oh, copy that, Jay. Well, buddy, congrats on your success here so far. See you in victory lane and stay alive.
Thank you.
As we are coming out of turn 4, pace car is off. We are staying double file. Off they go. Green flag racing once again here at Atlanta. Travis Pryor leading the field here to the start. Vern Markheim sitting in second. Christopher Smith third. Caleb Daniels fourth. And Dirk Staliker right there in 5th spot.
But as we speak, the 10 of Caleb Daniels is trying to pounce on the 48 of Christopher Smith. But Chris does have the preferred race groove. They're entering turn 3. Daniel stays high, trying to get the outside line to work. But the outside line has not kicked in just yet, because these guys do have newer tires. And the rubber buildup is has not intensified at the moment. And Travis Pryor so far is trying to pull away from the rest of the pack. And as we speak, second place behind him, Vernon Markheim, 48, Christopher Smith side by side. But Vern with a slingshot off turn 2. That will engage and clears the 48 of Smith successfully. But Smith is not in the clear just yet. Caleb Daniels sees a free lunch program right here. But that is easier said than done. But oh, maybe scratch that. Daniels is making some headway, surprisingly, on the outside line with the draft of the 23 of Vernon Markheim. And for the back in this pack, 75 of Wally Tierheimer here from 20th place to 10th place, pouncing on the 94 of Garrett Helmlinger. Helmlinger trying to maintain the 9th place spot and scratch that. I talked about how the outside line has not come to life just yet. But I guess I was wrong. The outside line is working. We've seen 2 drivers so far make moves on the outside line. Successful moves, actually. And as we speak here, Wally was able to get around Garrett Helmlinger. And now his next victim is the 44 of Damian Crump. Oh, and look at that, Dave, the bright machine. The 40 of Joshua Gillen now pouncing on the 94 of Garrett Helmlinger. But Helmlinger with the power of foot on the outside line gets a slingshot off turn 4 and maintains their 10th place position. And that's one benefit of the outside line. I mean, the downside to the outside line is that it is the longest way around the track, or I should say a longer way around the track. With that said, in order for you to be successful, or to be as successful as the drivers who are on the shorter way around the track, that's the inside line, you have to have greater speed than they are. You have to be able to maintain more momentum. The good thing about that is that you do get a little bit of a boost on the exit of the turns. So the higher you go up the track, the greater the boost. So for example, that slingshot, I mean the turn 2 and turn 4 does spit you out. And like we've seen so far, the drivers have all been able to make moves on the exit of all these turns with the help of the outside line advantage of that slingshot once it's engaged. And for the back in this pack, the 25 of Timothy McBrayer being shown in the 15th place spot. Oh, the caution flies on lap 22. Looks like the incident was for the back in the pack. We are going to back it up and see what's involved.
That's going to involve the 48 of Christopher Smith here as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting Instant Replay. Focusing on the 48 of Christopher Smith here as he is riding. Let's see. It's like some contact. Oh, he goes up on his roof there right out of turn number 4. Let's rewind that here. We'll take a look here from the cockpit view as we are riding on board with the 48 of Christopher Smith as he is on his side and then eventually on his roof.
Oh, man. Oh, wow. That was very, very brutal on the part of, Christopher Smith. But man, that was a heck of a ride on his part. And oh man, 59 of David White got into him. Wow, David White had nowhere to go. Didn't have enough time to back it down. So very unfortunate indeed for both drivers involved, Christopher Smith and the 59 of David White. And I'm surprised that Christopher Smith did not blow his motor on impact. And that Chevy is very, very strong. And it will be crawling down to pit road to get some service on that machine. And speaking of pit road is a very busy place. Everybody down pit road except for Timothy McBrayer and David White. And McBrayer will be taking over the race lead this time by as soon as they cross the start-finish line. Oh, and one driver gets the waiver on the pace car, the lucky dog, the 79 of Thomas Jowers Jr. Jr. has come from, he came from 1 lap down, back on the lead lap this time by on lap number 24. Great job to Thomas Jowers Jr. And that means more damage done. It's actually worse news for everybody out there, but some good news to Thomas Jowers because now he's going to be able to take some names and actually make it count on the scoreboard. And this does give us some time to get a race interview in. So let's focus on the 67 of John Muschin Jr. Well, ladies and gentlemen, up here in the Dre Broadcasting booth is the 67 of John Muschan Jr. solo driver tonight with the JTM Racing team. Get a copy there, John?
Yes, sir. You got a copy on me?
Loud and clear, buddy. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good considering I missed the dang start of the race.
Oh, man. Yeah, very sorry to hear about that, but we are glad that you were able to stay on the lead lap and be in the 15th place spot and ready to take some names at any moment now. But how's your machine treating you so far?
It's pretty good, man. A little tight, about 10 laps into the run to 3 and 4, so that's been my struggle with this car. Don't know if guys can hear that or not. I'm trying to overlap. But yeah, it's been a struggle in 3 and 4 with this car at this track for a long time now. It gets so tight about 2 laps into a run that if I'm not careful, I'll still up in that wall. But other than that, the car runs great. I'll make up a lot of time there.
Oh, copy that. That makes a lot of sense. And what do you think you're gonna have to do? Basically, what kind of changes will you try and make on your vehicle to try and to counter the tightness of the machine?
Not so much the vehicle, just my driving style. This car is a lot different than the cars I normally drive in the A Series, so I got to back that corner up a little bit more and basically put the fingers on it. That's the most important thing with this car, the fingers on it, because there's no rigging up front and rigging it back with this car.
Oh, 10. We couldn't quite hear you as loud towards the very end, but we did get the gist of it. Well, John, you are now back 1 to green, man. We hope that you're going to be able to counter the tightness, the pushiness of your machine due to your driving style. But we do expect to see you in victory lane tonight. Have a good one, buddy. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much, Sean. Have a good night.
And that was the 67 of John Muschan Jr. with the JTM Racing. But we are now back 1 to green, going green this time by. And the pace car does dip off. Damian Crump does not hesitate. He puts it on the floorboard. He does catch them off guard. But Travis Pryor sees it coming, but not quite. Well, sees it coming in time to maintain second place spot and 4 back in line entering turn 1. But behind him for third place, Caleb Daniels, Adam Eisenhower, side by side, almost make contact, almost exchanging paint, but no harm done. Still side by side, off turn 2. Oh, and battle for the race as we speak. Damian Crump, Travis Pryor side by side. Crump on the outside, Pryor on the inside. Crump still maintains the outside, and the race lead, surprisingly. And now Travis is under pressure from the 86 of Adam Eisenhower. And that's one thing about this, is that when you are battling somebody, the drivers behind you will catch you in a heartbeat. Just like we had seen the 86 of Adam coming out of nowhere, and now being all over the back bumper of 81 of Travis Pryor, who then moves high, leaves his inside vulnerable to the 86 of Adam Eisenhower to occupy. And Adam Eisenhower leaves the inside occupied as well, and the 10, or I should say unoccupied, and the 10 of Daniels will benefit from that.
Yeah, it looks like that middle lane, though, is the place to be. It's kind of hard to make that pass there on the inside, Sean.
Yeah, it is starting to seem so. Yeah, that's a very good point. So the outside line now is the place to be. So we're going to be seeing a lot of drivers changing up their racing styles. And the 66 of Ralph Vandervoort is going to be very, very happy, very excited. He's gonna be able to live up to his name after all. Mr. High Side. He does really love the outside line, and he does an amazing job rocking it. And here for the back in this pack, we have John Muschan Jr. watching a battle. It's gonna be between Jeremy Rigney and 40 of Joshua Gillen, who then go back single file this time by. And the driver we haven't spoken much of here tonight is the 49 of Timothy Hamlet. Timothy Hamlet just keeping a low profile, started dead last in 31st, and now being shown in the 17th place spot behind the 77 of Brian Wasserman. And Timothy most likely just trying to take it easy because he knows the race is still young. He's trying to keep that machine as clean as he can and most likely go for it once those pit stops kick in. And looking in the chat, we have a new viewer, Molly Roman, rooting for the 79 of Thomas Jowers Jr. And the 80 of Jay Pryor here gets overtaken by the 77 of Brian Wasserman. And Jay Pryor, that is, has sustained some right front damage from the last time we last checked on him. But so far, he is trying his best to make up as much time as he can, make some moves, counter the damage with his heavy foot, and the draft of the 77 of Brian Wasserman and Rick Mason here in this mix, approaching of Jay Pryor and the 49 of Tim Hamlet. But Mason is not coming alone. He has 23 and 97 with him. I actually just now noticed that Garrett Robinson is in this mix. He is back here tonight, trying to do some damage. He had a heck of a season last season, and he's trying to have an even better season this season here with the Pro K&N Series in the Extreme Motorsports 99.com. And also behind him, 24, Brandon Slow, Leandro Castro, roadblock on the outside line here. The 18 of Rick Mason here backs up his turn entry, and behind him, 23 of Vern Markham had to back it down as well to avoid getting into the back of him, to avoid bump drafting for now. And the Dirty South in the chat as well for the 98 of Dakota Craig. And welcome back, Dirty South. Ooh, for the back in this pack 23 of Vern Markheim trying to make some moves. His machine has seen better days, but that thing still has speed. Surprisingly, he gets around the 18 of Rick Mason, and now his next victim is a 24 of Brandon Slow. That mighty blue machine, very well dressed machine. Can never ever say that enough. And so far, Brandon ups his pace and overtakes his slower machine. That's going to be the 67 of John Muschamp Jr., who just sustained some right front damage. Looks like John got a little bit too friendly with the outside wall off turn 4. He talked about how his machine is very pushy, and that's unfortunate indeed. So he most likely is going down pit road to get that damage fixed or get a brand new machine at the same time, make some adjustments to counter the pushiness. But Dave, with the unscheduled pit stop of John Muschamp Jr., that will cause him to most likely go one or more laps down.
Yeah, Atlanta's a fast track, so, I mean, going down pit road, that's more likely probably going to at least get you close to a lap down.
And as we speak right now, I have some side-by-side going on for 10th place between Chris Gillum and the 94 of Garrett Helmlinger. But Chris Gillum did fall short off turn 2 due to being on the inside line, and Helmlinger on the outside made it stick nice and strong and was able to benefit with the slingshot and some great grip on the outside and took over the 9th place spot away from 52 of Chris Gillum. And Chris Gillum finally makes his foot even heavier on that gas pedal and keeps the 36 of Jason Eisenhower behind him for now. And this would be a good time to get an in-car shotgun ride with one of the drivers here. Let's try and focus on a driver who we can watch make some moves. Let's focus on the 97 of Garrett Robinson. Let's see how he gets around this traffic at the same time. Let's see exactly how the draft plays a key factor. Right now, Garrett just pretty much following the line of the 49 of Timothy Hamlet. He tries to go to the inside. He will have him. Yes, the inside is finally occupied by Robinson. And he's going to make the pass successfully against Hamlet here on the exit of 4. And now Robinson's next victim is a 36 of Jason Eisenhower. And man, to Robinson's outside, looks like 49 of Timothy Hamlet was not too happy with the move of Robinson, taking away the position away from him, and is now fighting back to hang on to it. And Robinson watching a battle between the 52 of Chris Gillum and Jason Eisenhower, who are side by side. Oh, Chris Gillum pushes way tight, and Jason will maintain that spot, or actually occupy the outside and get the pass successfully against him. And Robinson has to back it down to avoid getting in trouble due to a big checkup in front of him. Oh man, Robinson getting so flirty with the apron. They went a little bit sideways, but able to hang on to that machine and lost some time because of that. And Dave, you can see right now that Garrett has just pretty much been taking it easy. He is taking it easy and trying not to push any matters.
Well, we are 40 laps into tonight's race, so 70 laps remaining. It looks like we're having a pretty good green flag run here. Hopefully we'll get to see some green flag pit stop.
Yep, green flag pit stops most likely will kick in here in the next 10 to 15 laps. Oh, contact! Robinson and 28 of Chris Voiles. No harm done. Voiles stays high. Robinson stays low. And they do stay green here on lap 42. And also one thing, the drivers here in the Pro K&N Series, we have some new drivers, a couple of new drivers here and there. But some drivers do have teammates, while some are running as solo drivers. And speaking of the different teams we have, I'm going to go down some lists here of some drivers we have who are working together. We have Performance Motorsports, Don Kidder Jr., but Don Kidder is not racing here tonight. He is one of the admins. But further down this list here, Bandit Motorsports with Chris Voiles, including Wally Tierheimer. Double C Motorsports, Caleb Daniels and Christopher Smith as a two-man team. Eisenhower Racing, David White, Jason Eisenhower, Marty Ray, including Adam Eisenhower as a four-man team. We have Maverick Motorsports, includes caution flies here on lap 44. We'll back it up and see who might have been involved.
Looks like that is going to involve the 75 of Wally Tierheimer. We're going to pull up the Dre Broadcasting Instant Replay. See if we can see what happened. Wally Tierheimer coming out. Oh, looks like David White coming through the grass. Fortunately, the 75 nowhere to go, involved in that incident. That is going to be our third caution here tonight.
Absolutely very unfortunate indeed for both drivers, David White and Wally Tierheimer. Both drivers blowing their motors on impact and having to tow down to pit road. But not to worry, ladies and gentlemen, we forgot to talk about this, but the drivers here do have one backup car. So with that said, for Wally Tierheimer and David White will be able to have one more chance with a brand new machine with a roaring motor. Not a single scratch on those beasts, and should be able to be back racing with everybody else. But only one downside to it is that they will most likely be 1 or 2 laps down due to their bad luck and having to get towed down to pit road. And Travis Pride leads everybody down pit road, this time by having 22 laps on his tank and tires, and that goes for everybody else behind him. And Timothy McBrayer deciding to stay out one more time. Oh, nope, scratch that. Looks like Timothy is going in with everybody else. So only one driver stayed out, and that was 67 of John Mustian Jr. And John Mustian, we saw him there under green flag conditions. He had some bad luck and had to have an unscheduled pit stop going down pit road to make some adjustments to his machine and also get a brand new machine. And he gets away from the pace car this time by. We'll be back on the lead lap. And I talked about how he went down pit road to get a brand new machine, but I guess that was not right because he decided to let his pit crew work on the machine quite a bit. So the machine does still have some dents here and there, but it is still good enough to compete.
Yeah, most definitely, but 3 cautions here tonight. Taking a look at our race report, 3 cautions here tonight, 3 lead changes as we are currently being led right now by the 10 of Caleb Daniels.
Yep, 3 lead changes so far and a lot more lead changes to come because we've been seeing a lot of drivers battling up front for that race lead. And once those pit stops kick in, the different strategies come into play, we're going to be seeing a lot more lead changes. So fingers crossed for that. We are definitely looking forward to that. And this does give us some time to get a race interview in. So let's focus on the 78 of Jeremy Rigney. Oh, had some trouble finding him, but I've finally located Jeremy Rigney, and we are joined up here by he himself, his honor 78 of Jeremy Rigney. Get a cup there, Jeremy.
Hey, buddy. What's up?
How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing well. Having fun tonight.
Oh man, glad to hear that. And yes, you are, man. You've come a very long way, gaining 20 spots overall from 25th place to 5th place this far, and going nowhere but the front. But how's the race going so far?
Oh, that's great, man. You know, they talked early on in the pre-race program about being patient, and that's what I'm sticking to the plan tonight, and I'm just slowly working my way through the field.
Yeah, being patient and still taking names at the exact same time. Very, very impressive. And how's the machine treating you tonight, man? We've had some complaints about drivers getting loose and some getting tight, but more loose than tight.
I haven't really noticed the loose condition at all. You know, it's just easy in and easy out, and I'm just headed to the front.
Oh, most definitely. And Jeremy, last week you came from Daytona International, a whole different track, to Atlanta Motor Speedway. What did you have to do to get ready for tonight?
Well, did a little practicing and got a good run in and cleared my head, and we're not at a super speedway where anything can happen now. It's a little more on the driver.
Oh, absolutely, brother. And man, once again, you're doing an amazing job here tonight. Keep up the good work. Stay alive. We look forward to seeing you here in Victory Lane before too long. And you are now back 1 to green, Jeremy. So get back out there, keep spanking these boys, and see you in the front before too long.
Thanks for watching, fellas.
And that was the 75 of Jeremy Rigney as well. New addition this season to Pro K&N Series. And the pace car dips off up front. And Caleb puts it on the floorboard. He does catch the drivers off guard. Travis Pryor caught sleeping. And Adam Eisenhower will benefit from that. Goes from 3rd place to 2nd place here in only less than 1 lap actually before turn 1 on the restart. The 40 of Joshua Gillen trying to outshift the 81 of Travis Pryor, who is all over the 86 of Adam Eisenhower. And behind them we have Jeremy Rigney side by side with Dakota Craig for 6th place. Well, the 44, Damian Crump trying to make some moves, trying to push the 78 of Jeremy Rigney past the 98 of Dakota Craig. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. In this case, Damian tries to push the 78 of Rigney past the 98 and push himself at the exact same time past the 98 of Craig. But once again, the outside line now is the place to be. The inside line not so much, and Rigney is shining on the inside, but 98 of Craig doing an even better job on the outside line.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are 50 laps into tonight's race. 61 laps remaining, so we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here on the Dre Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back here with the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Advocare 500. That's the Advocare 500, round 2 of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series at Atlanta Motor Speedway, brought to you by Extreme Motorsports 99.com. And going back to the race, we are still under green flag conditions. Travis Pryor still leading, Caleb Daniels second, Adam Eisenhower third, Dakota Craig fourth, and Damian Crump in that 5th place position. And for all those new viewers out there in the chat, welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network. For the new and existing viewers and also returning viewers, welcome back to the Dre Broadcasting Network. We are glad to have you all, both new and old. And if you guys are part or would like to be a part of this action for next season, the upcoming seasons here with Extreme Motorsports 99.com, be sure to check out their website, extrememotorsports99.com. Drop the first E in Extreme. Drop the first E in Extreme. Start with the X. extrememotorsports99.com. On Mondays, they do run K&N cars, like you see before you right now, including a road series, the Rick Mosaic Sports Car Series. On Tuesday nights, Truck Series. Wednesday nights, Xfinity Series. And Thursday nights, they do run a Cup Series. So the better you get, the more you advance. So basically, the K&N cars is basically like the base level where they get everybody started and then promote them as they gain more experience here in the series here with the Extreme Motorsports 99. So you guys check them out once again, extrememotorsports99.com, and you will not be disappointed. Well, going back to the race here, we had some bad luck on one driver, 24 of that was the 24 of Brandon Slow, had some bad luck where he had an instance where he had some he blew his motor basically. Bad smoke from the rear end. Got a brand new machine. Is now back up on the track, 2 laps down, trying to take some names, hoping for some cautions so he can be able to get his laps back and be in contention for the race lead before this thing is over. And also Wally Tierheimer just went a 2nd lap down. So Wally Tierheimer and Brandon Slow racing for 2 laps down for 31st place as we speak. But so far here, let's see, we did cross the halfway mark, and we still need some pit stops to take place. I believe 2 pit stops. I mean, one more pit stop should be enough for these drivers to be able to make it the remainder of the way. Well, going back a little bit up front, we do have the 52 of Chris Gillam behind the 94 of Garrett Helmlinger. We also have a cluster in front of them. It's going to be Damian Crump, Brian Wasserman, Dirk Stalaker, and the 78 of Jeremy Rigney.
Yeah, this is an old-fashioned hornet's nest right here, Sean. You got all these guys running, trying side by side, make these moves here to break into the top 10.
Oh yeah, and at this point the drivers are now starting to lift. It's no longer just put your foot down the floor for the first 15 laps, and now they're actually having to race these machines. And so far it is making a difference. We see some drivers here propelling, excelling. 78 of Jeremy Rigney as an example so far propels past the 47 of Dirk Stalaker and Brian Wasserman, who are still side by side as we speak, and Stalaker being pushed by the 44 of Damian Crump on the outside. But nope, Crump switches lanes to go at the inside, which at the moment seems to be moving better than the outside is. And as soon as Brian cleared that Dirk, he went up to the outside line and then crossover move on the 77 of Wasserman again by 47 of Dirk Stalaker. Battle after battle, lap after lap. 22 laps since their last pit stop. So here before too long, in the next 15 to 20 laps, pit stops should kick in, and the drivers should be able to make it the remainder of the way. And for the back in this pack, 49 of Timothy Hamlet, and behind him is the 34 of Max Brady. I haven't spoken much of Max Brady tonight. He's been keeping a very, very low profile, but he is here in the 14th place spot behind the 49 of Tim Hamlet. And yep, Carol, the tire game is a very, very it's a very, very touchy subject. You know, some drivers are good at saving tires and some no. Oh, I've some trouble on the track off turn 2. And driver smacks the wall. The caution flies this time by. That was the 44 of Damian Crump. Let's back it up on Damian Crump and see what happened.
As we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay here, focusing on the 44, as we see him riding there, just alone there, but fortunately makes contact with a wall, spins out into the inside wall and back up on the track, and wow, it looks like Ralph Vandervorst unfortunately caught up into that. That is going to be our 4th caution here of the night.
Absolutely very unfortunate indeed for every single driver involved in that. John Mustian as well get a piece of the action. Wrong place, wrong time. Ralph Vandervorst got one of the worst ends of that deal. And actually, Damian Crump got the worst end of that one because he is getting towed down to pit road. Well, including Ralph Vandervorst. Both drivers down pit road this time by. But hopefully they still have their only backup car tonight. So they should be able to get back out there with brand new machines and stay competitive. But going back up front, Travis Pryor leads everybody down pit road this time by, and everybody will follow. And at this point, from my few calculations, the drivers might be about 3 to 5 laps short. But we will find out before too long, so fingers crossed. And Travis Pryor ended up missing his pit stop, had to back up a little bit, and that will cost him some time. But some drivers staying out. Here that's gonna be Brandon Slaw. Brandon Slaw gets the wave around the pace car, back to 1 lap down from 2 laps down this time by. Leandro Castro being shown 2 laps down as well behind the pace car. Wally Tierheimer. Actually, Wally Tierheimer got the wave around the pace car. It doesn't seem like Brandon Slaw did. I'm gonna wait for it to update here so I'm not wrong. Actually, no, scratch that. Brandon Slaw did get the waiver on the pace car. And while it is still being shown, 2 laps down. And the race off pit road was won by the... That's gonna be a 10 of Caleb Daniels. So Caleb Daniels comes out first off pit road. Adam Eisenhower second. Dakota Craig third. Travis Pryor fourth. And Garrett Robinson in the 4th place spot off pit road. Great pit strategies.
Yeah, most definitely here. But the question is 42 laps to go, Sean. I think they're going to have to pit again. I don't think they're going to be able to make it on 42 laps.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking as well. Those are my thoughts exactly. But yeah, if they're not going to be able to make it, that's going to mean they'll be about 3 to 5 laps short from my calculations. So with that said, a splash and go should be good enough. And drivers most likely will take no tires, or I should say 2 to no tires. Trying to spend less time on pit road and more time doing some damage to the track and their opponents out here. So it's going to make things extra interesting, and this does give us some time to get a race interview in, and hopefully we can actually get the pit window verified. Let's focus on the 34 of Max Brady. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined up in the Dre Broadcasting booth by Max Brady. Get a cup there, Max.
Hello, I'm here.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Oh, doing good too, thank you, and thank you for asking. And Max, tonight, man, you've been keeping a very, very low profile, I should say a ghost in the very beginning, but now you're finally making your way towards the front, making some headway, and doing an amazing job doing it. You went from 34th place to 12th place, and going nothing but higher. How's the race going so far?
Pretty good. I feel like we have a really good car on the top. I've just been running the top most of the time and gaining time there.
Oh, copy that. Yeah, we've noticed the outside line is now the preferred race groove compared to the inside line. And you guys doing an amazing job holding the outside line, especially in your case, making moves left and right and making passes. And Max, last week you guys came from Daytona International to this track, Atlanta. How are you adapting? I mean, how are you adapting?
You know, I haven't really raced Atlanta a lot in iRacing, so it's kind of a new thing, but I think I'm adapting pretty good.
Oh, copy that. Good to hear. And yes, you are indeed. You've come a very long way and getting nothing but higher. And with that said, Max, with the way your machine's been handling and with the way you've been driving so far, where do you see yourself on lap 111?
Hopefully first.
That is all you can hope for. Well, but you are now back 1 to green, so look forward to seeing you in victory lane here before too long. Spank these boys, make us proud.
Thank you, guys.
And that was Max Brady, and the pace car dips off here. Caleb Daniels does catch the drivers off goal, wrecking off the start finish line on the restart. Chain reaction, chain effects, the caution will fly again this time by. I spoke too soon. Yep, it's a big junk in the tri-oval. Holy cow, that's going to involve a lot of drivers. 52 involved, that's going to be Chris Gillum. We have Chris Voiles, Vernon Markheim, Andrew Riley, Tommy Amasi, Garrett Helmlinger, Thomas Jowers, Jay Pryor, Garrett Robinson, Jason Eisenhower, 7 of Gary Woolbot, Rick Mason, James Peterson. I'm not sure where exactly that started, but we'll try and focus on one of the drivers out here and see what happened.
Yeah, Sean, I'm not exactly sure where it started, but looking here from the blimp, it started up front with a car down into the grass. It looks like that might have been Adam Eisenhower. Let's see if that was him. Yeah, it looks like he just got hit, bumped real hard, spun, started up front, and a big junk here right at the start-finish line.
Oh man, a lot of pit crews not happy about that. A lot of drivers not happy about that either. And pit road will be a very, very busy place. On man, 36 of Jason Eisenhower had a heck of a ride. He was on his lid and blew his motor on impact. But hopefully he still has one of his his only backup car still handy. Because last season they had 2 backup cars, but this season they have narrowed it down to only 1 backup car. And Jason going down pit road, heavy barbecue, heavy smoke from the rear end of Eisenhower, enough smoke to choke the drivers behind him. And that could be quite the strategy. Going back up front here, we are being led by the 10 of Caleb Daniels still, Travis Pryor 2nd, Joshua Gillen 3rd, Jeremy Rigney 4th, and Dirk Staliker in the 5th place spot. Yep, those different reaction times on these restarts could cause quite a junkyard like we had seen right there. Very, very unfortunate. And the drivers there tried their best to back it down in time, but once again it was just think about it this way: when one driver hits the other like that, it causes a checkup on the outside, and the braking intensity just gets nothing but higher or more intense as they go down the list. So unfortunately, they had to end like that. And one driver gets the wave around the pace car. Brandon Slow back on the lead lap from 2 laps down to 1 lap down. Back on the lead lap once again on lap number 76. Great job to Brandon Slow. And here on pit road, we have Travis Pryor pitting in. Yes, Travis Pryor pits in, but Caleb Daniels deciding to stay out. Joshua Gillen takes over 2nd place. Jeremy Rigney 3rd. Dirk Staliker 4th. And Max Brady 6th. And we would like to get a word in to catch up with the 58 of Jim Peterson, returning driver here to the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series. So stay tuned. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined up in the Dre broadcasting booth by he himself, 58 of Jim Peterson. Get up there, Jim.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
You hear me?
Oh, loud and clear, man. How are you doing?
All right. Kind of upset at that restart.
Oh, man, I can only imagine. Yeah, that did cause quite a chain reaction. And even you yourself were caught up in it, in the middle of it, and had nowhere to go. And James, we have really missed you, man. It's been way too long, but we are glad that you are back here with the Extreme Motorsports. But how have you been?
Doing pretty good there. Just trying to hang out in the back until everybody wrecked out, but I'm making my move to the front now.
Oh man, that's good to hear. And in the chat we have Carol, who did actually comment on about you saying 58 Peterson, it's time to dig. And by the sounds of it, you did get the message, and you are now headed towards the front here before too long. And James, you are now back here 1 to green. And where do you see yourself on lap 111?
Well, I'm going for a top 10 tonight.
Top 10? Sounds good, brother. Well, once again, you are now back 1 to green. James, headed the right direction, and congrats on staying alive this far. We look forward to seeing you in victory lane here before too long. So, buddy, see you in victory lane once again, and make us proud.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you a special treat on this restart. That's right. Turn the volumes up, because we are going to crank it up as these V8s come out of turn number 4, getting ready to go green flag racing. So turn up that sound, because we are going to crank it up on this restart.
And that was a crank it up cam right there, ladies and gentlemen. But we are under caution. We will back it up and see who might have been involved.
Do see the 97 of Garrett Robinson was involved as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting instant replay here. We'll focus on Garrett Robinson, see if we can see what happened. Is it was a hornet's nest with Jay Pryor, or Travis Pryor. Oh, contact started there with the 97 of Garrett Robinson. And it looks like 36 of Jason Eisenhower on his roof. So let's take a look here at Jason Eisenhower's. We're going to rewind it here, focusing on him from his in-car. Jason had nowhere to go, ended up on his roof. He has got some heavy damage to that machine of his. Let's see if we can get it from a different angle here. Yeah, just looks like Garrett Robinson made contact with another car, and around he went, and the 94 and 36, nowhere to go.
Oh man, yeah, very unfortunate indeed for the drivers involved in that. And yes, turns number 3 and 4, the machines are very pushy on the inside, and that is exactly why the inside is not the place to be now, like we had talked about there early on. And Jason most likely done putting the C&S Hobbies machine behind the wall due to using his only backup car during the last caution we had, and he's now on his lid twice in a row tonight. That is not a good thing for the Eisenhower Racing crew, but he will be back again ready to get the job done next week at Kansas Speedway for the Toyota Tundra 250. Well, here we have one driver retiring for the night, 67 of John Mostian Jr. We look forward to seeing this driver back as well next week at Kansas Speedway. Well, going back up front here, we have a new race leader, the 31 of Andrew Riley coming out of nowhere. Caleb Dano second, Joshua Gillen third, Derek Stoniker fourth, and Adam Eisenhower in the 5th place spot. And at this point, once the drivers pit in, they should and will be able to make it the remainder of the way.
I tell you what, there's one happy person out there in the chat right now. That is going to be Pat T. Currently, Jay Pryor running in the 2nd position, Travis Pryor running in the 4th. So she has got to be ecstatic here, but we still have 28 laps to go.
Have 28 laps to go, man. He has come a long way despite going to the back of the pack during the last pit stop with his pit strategy. He is still up here. Man, Jay Pryor, that machine, Dave has seen better days, but he is still going nice and strong despite that. And I don't remember Jay Pryor being involved in anything. So with that said, he most likely still has his backup car. And Pat T, I meant to tell Jay Pryor that you were in the chat rooting for him, but I didn't get a chance to due to the green flag flying only a few seconds before I dragged him back down to the Maverick Motorsports racing crew, or the racing chat. But here, before too long, hopefully we can get a word in with Jay Pryor or Travis Pryor, and we will we'll let them know. And if we don't go on to green this time, by that will give us some time to get another interview in with one of the drivers here tonight. So fingers crossed. Oh, the lines on the pace car do stay on. We are being led by Andrew Riley. Jay Pryor starting on the outside line. Brian Wassman will be assisting the leader, the 31 of the 31 of Andrew Riley on the inside. Oh, actually scratch that. Looks like Andrew Riley is preferring to start on the outside. The leaders do have lane choice. So Jay Pryor going to start on the inside with the help of Brian Wasserman. But on the outside is Andrew Riley with the help of the 81 of Travis Pryor. And those Pryor machines have some bad damage on them. So hopefully that does not affect them. Hopefully it's just visual damage and not going to affect their performance. But fingers crossed, we're about to find out. She's tongue-tied. Well, once we go green, ladies and gentlemen, 26 laps remaining, 26 lap shootout. With that said, it is go time. No more required pit stops. Everybody can be able and should be able to make it the remainder of the way. Once again, 26 laps remaining, go time. Hang on to your seats. It will be a bumpy ride. Go on green and have fun.
As the pace car comes out of turn 4, ready to go, green flag racing, pace car off. Andrew Riley wastes no time getting on that throttle. So does the 81. Travis Pryor, Jay Pryor, they're caught sleeping a little bit. Still for battling though, right there for 3rd position with Eli Green on his outside.
And man, the ATJ Pryor machine, it is struggling to get up to speed. But Brian Wassman in the 77 is exercising extreme patience with Jay Pryor and is deciding to stick behind Pryor for now. Most likely trying to increase the top speed, trying to help the damage machine of Pryor. Great sportsmanship. And 86 Adam Eisenhower on the outside going to make a move against 80 of Jay Pryor. And that is going to be for the position number 4 this time by.
Well, Sean, we are 25 laps to go, so this is a good time to take our final commercial break of the night so we can bring you the exciting conclusion here to the AdvoCare 500, the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll be right back.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show under the world of outlaws.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Advocare 500 Round 2 of the ExtremeMotorsports99.com Pro K&N Series, brought to you by ExtremeMotorsports99.com here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And for those new viewers out there, welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network. And we hope you guys will enjoy the show here as we have an amazing race going on so far here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And we are under caution, being led by the 31 of Andrew Riley. Actually, let's talk about the incident under caution there. We had some drivers getting involved in it. Second biggest wreck we've seen tonight. Timothy McBride got a piece of the action. Tommy Amasi got a piece of it. Wally Tiaheimer, Brian Wassman on his lid. Dakota Craig, James Peterson, Leandro Castro, Christopher Smith, Rick Mason, Brandon Slaw, Max Brady, Chris Gillum, and 44 of Damian Crump as well, I believe. And that was pretty much it. And unfortunately, we won't be able to catch it on replay due to how long ago it was. But that was a very big wreck, second biggest wreck we had besides the restart. We are now back 1 to green this time by here, being led still by Andrew Riley. And the pace car dips off. Andrew does catch everybody off guard, side by side for second place between 13 Eli Green coming out of nowhere with the 10 of Caleb Daniels. And man, we haven't spoken much of Eli Green tonight, if any, but man, he has come a very long way, 27th to 2nd as we speak, gaining 25 spots this far. And Andrew Riley as well has come a very long way from 29th place to 1st place, gaining 28 spots this far. And Caleb Daniels trying to challenge the 13 of Eli Green. And one thing we've noticed about these machines here in the later stage of the race, this time in the beginning they were a little bit loose. But I mean, not loose, but tight, and now they're getting nothing but tighter with every single lap. And you see a lot of drivers pushing and trying their best to just back it down, and that is causing quite the chaos for those drivers. But yeah, these racing conditions, the driving conditions on the track are really shaping up the way the drivers or the machines are handling. And here we have the 40 of Joshua Gillen here trying to pounce on the 13 of Eli Green for 4th place.
Yeah, got a good battle brewing up front. 18 laps to go here. Is taking a little further back here. Travis Pryor moving up into the 6th position as he is trying to get around Adam Eisenhower. But I'll tell you what, Adam Eisenhower's been real strong here tonight. I would not be surprised to see him battling for the lead when it comes down to the checkered flag.
Oh, me neither. Yeah, Adam Eisenhower, amazing driver from last season, right here in the K&N Series and also the Truck Series. And last week he was able to have a top 10 finish despite being in the back of the pack all race long. Well, it's not like being in the back of the pack is a bad thing, but he was still able to finish in the 9th place spot in the top 10 of some side-by-side drivers making contact for the race lead. Caleb Daniels, Andrew Riley side-by-side. Oh, they make contact. Riley goes sideways. Daniels makes contact with him. Oh, big wreck in the try-over. They keep piling in their chain effect. The green flag still stays out somehow. Nope, the caution flies. Finally. Oh man, that's gonna collect a lot more drivers, man. It starts up front and collects everybody behind because they're just way too bunched up, way too close. But that did start with the 31 of Andrew Riley and the 10 of Caleb Daniels. So let's focus on the 10 of Daniels and see what happens.
Yeah, they're side by side here on the instant replay as they're coming out of the turn here. And it looks like maybe some contact there. Andrew Riley goes around and then it just starts a chain reaction. Right there, right across the start finish.
Oh man, yeah, that was a very big wreck right there, man. That was also one of the biggest wrecks we've seen tonight. And we had some heavy smoke from the rear end of one of the drivers, the 10 of Caleb Daniels. Travis Pryor got a piece of the action, was sideways, but I believe he was able to minimize that damage. So he should be still in contention of this thing. And also here we had, that's going to be the 86 of Adam Eisenhower was able to get around that and scratch somehow by weaving in and out of wrecking traffic or sideways traffic. Well, this definitely will shake things up. Things were already shaken up, but it's going to shake things up even more here in the top 10, top 20, top 30. I should say maybe bottom 20, including the top 10. But going back up front, new race leader, the 75 of Wally Tiaheimer. Actually, that might change. I believe 78 of Jeremy Rigney is in the lead. but Jeremy's machine is beat up, so he most likely will be going down pit road this time by. So let's see what happens. Yeah, off turn for here, Jeremy Rigney. Nope, Jeremy Rigney still staying out. Well, with the way we had seen Jay Pryor's machine handle pretty well and get up to speed quite well as well, despite the damage he had on his machine. Maybe Jeremy Rigney might be the exact same way. These things are tanks. These machines are tanks. So with that said, they can take quite a beating. And these things do define Robbins racing, and they do actually encourage it. So Jeremy Rigney leading, Wally Tierheimer second, Tommy Massey third, Adam Eisenhower fourth, and James Peterson in the 5th place spot. And one driver getting the way around the pace car here. That's going to be the 0101 Leandro Castro. We haven't spoken much of Leandro Castro. He kept a very low profile tonight, but he is back on the lead lap here on lap 98 with 14 laps remaining.
Yeah, we're going to have about a 12-lap shootout here, Sean, I'd say, for checkered flags. So we're going to have a good little battle here, being led by the 78, Jeremy Rigney, Wally Tierheimer sitting in second, Tommy Amassi up into third. There's James Peterson. He is running in the 4th position. Adam Eisenhower up into 5th.
Oh man, speaking of Tommy Massey came from dead last to 3rd place, gained a lot of spots, way too much, being the heaviest mover. This far we started with a 30, well actually we started with a 34 car field here tonight. So he did gain, let's see, that's going to be about 35, yeah, he gained 35 positions from where he first begun, and he did end up going back to his old strategy from last season. Last week we saw him just pretty much be in the front all race long, but tonight going back to his old strategy of being in the back pretty much all race long and going up front with less than 20 laps, less than 30 laps remaining in the race, and he is here. And for the back in this pack as well, we have Max Brady. Max Brady here being shown, I believe, the last driver on the lead lap. Yeah, I do believe so. And at this point, we only have 18 drivers on the lead lap, and everybody is 2 or more laps down. Yeah, it's been a rough race for most, for some, but we look forward to seeing all these drivers back again next week at Kansas Speedway for the Toyota Tundra 250. That's Toyota Tundra 250 at Kansas Speedway, the One Groove racetrack. And Dave, that track as well will challenge these drivers even more.
Yeah, most definitely so. We're going to see what happens here, because they should be getting the one to go this time around. So that means we'll actually have an 11-lap shootout here for the checkered flag. So this will be interesting to see if we can get a good green flag run and battle it out here to the checker.
And the 7 of Gary Woobot here in the 11th place position behind the 10 of Caleb Daniels. And Gary Woobot as well has kept a very low profile tonight, but he is now in the 10th place spot as we just spoke right there, gaining 18 spots this far. And yes, like David talked about, we are back 1 to green, 11-lap shootout on the way. And 1 lap later, a 10-lap shootout. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, hang on to your seats, hang on tight, put on your seatbelts. It will be a bumpy ride, every man for himself.
Yeah, every driver for themselves, but I tell you what, I'm kind of worried though. The 78 machine, look at his car. It is beat up. I mean, he has got some heavy damage on that machine. He maybe is sitting duck out here with that heavy damage.
Yep, that's exactly what's going through my mind. But then when I think about this, the situation of Jay Pryor, the last restart here, the exact same situation. And he did quite well, surprisingly, but we are about to find out this could be deadly, because he is in the front of the pack. Well, we are going green this time by Jeremy Rigney, with the help of Tommy Amassi, and James Peterson assisting the 75 of Wally Tierheimer. Pace car dips off, Rigney still holding pace speed. The green flag flies. Rigney tries to catch the drivers off guard. He got a good start, but then Wally Tierheimer, 05 must take him 3 wide. Yes, Jeremy's struggling to get up to speed, but he will stay high, so let the faster traffic by. Yeah, very unfortunate indeed for Jeremy Rigby. We'll have to commend him for his determination to get the job done despite his limitations of that machine. And 58 of James Peterson on his outside line as well. And James as well has some bad damage on it. He had some bad luck there during the last caution that we had. But up front here, taking over the race lead will be... Oh, caution flies this time by with 10 laps remaining. We are going to back it up and see who might have been involved.
That's going to be the 34 of Max Brady as we pull the Dre Broadcasting replay here for our 9th caution of the night here. 34 Max Brady gets into the outside wall, loses it, keeps it up on the track though, and looks like everybody's going to get around him. It's just going to be a single car incident, but he got into that outside wall and it just spun him around, unfortunately.
Yep, that outside wall takes you in and then spits you back out suddenly. And at that point, you have no control of your machine. And Max Brady tried his best to save it the best he could. At the same time, he was thinking about the drivers who were going around him. So he was able to keep it up there in time to let everybody by before the wall spat him out. But very unfortunate indeed once again for Max Brady. But great job to Max Brady for minimizing the damage to the field and himself the best that he could. But going back up front, lead change of 5. Tommy Massey takes over the race lead. Wally Tierheimer second. Adam Eisenhower third. Timothy Hamlet fourth. And Dirk Staliker in the 5th place position. And Dave, last time we checked, I believe we had 5 lead changes. What are we looking at right now?
Taking a look here at our race report. 9 cautions here tonight, 11 lead changes. So we've had 11 lead changes here tonight. We may be able to see a couple more, but this is going to put us on the brink, Sean. Once we go back green flag racing, they only may have 1 or 2 laps of racing. Then the next flag will end the race.
Oh yeah, and with that said, ladies and gentlemen, with these drivers keeping in mind that the next flag might end the race after 1 or 2 laps of racing like David talked about, that's going to make them want to race even harder to try and be where they want to be if a caution were to come out. So things will get extra interesting, so fingers crossed, and hopefully we have a lot of survivors and less debris on the track. At this point, once again, it is go time, and every driver for himself. And Timothy Hamlet here in the top 5. First appearance in the top 5 from Timothy Hamlet, or by Timothy Hamlet, in the 4th place spot behind the 86 of Adam Eisenhower. And we are now 8 laps remaining this time by.
Yeah, currently only 17 of these K&N machines left on the lead lap. So it's still anybody's battle. We're 8 to go. Should be getting the 1 to green next time by. So we are actually going to get the green flag with 6 laps to go. So they're going to be able to complete 1 lap after that first lap. Any flag after that, it's going to end the race.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is the Advocare 500, round 2 of the ExtremeMotorsports99.com Pro K&N Series, brought to you by ExtremeMotorsports99.com. And for all those new viewers just now tuning in, first of all, welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network. And if you guys would like to be a part of the action here behind the wheels of one of these machines, be sure to go to their website, ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Drop the first E in Extreme, start with the X, ExtremeMotorsports99.com. On Monday nights, they do run a Road Series and K&N Series. Tuesday nights, Truck Series. Wednesday nights, Xfinity Series, which is the B cars. And Thursday nights, they run a Cup Series, or the Gen 6 Series. And basically, the more experienced you are, they do place you in a higher series, with the Cup Series on Thursday nights being the highest, the best of the best. So, and with that said, you do have to, they do place you in different series based on how much experience you have. So be sure to bring your A game, and you will be advanced, you will be promoted, just like most drivers from last season. And this is the 2nd season running the Pro K&N Series with Extreme Motorsports 99, because last season it was new, and the first ever champion was 57 of Hunter McDaniel, who right now is in the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series. So he has been promoted due to his success and improvement all season long last season. So it does pay off. to be successful or hardworking. And we are now back one to green, this time by being led by Tommy Massey still with the help of Adam Eisenhower on the inside and Wally Tierheimer on the outside, being pushed by the 49 of Timothy Hamlet. Going green, Dave. Well, do the honors, please.
As they come out of turn number 4, double foul. Tommy Massey's leading this field on the inside, Wally Tierheimer on the outside. Pace car is off, and we are back green flag racing again here with 6 laps to go now as they cross the start-finish.
Yep, one more lap, and after that, the next flag will end the race. These drivers know that, and single file from first place through 4th place. 49, Tim Hamlet, 5th place in line behind Dirk Staliker, and Dirk Staliker had some damage all race long and got a brand new machine and is now trying to take some names here. Before too long, next victim is 75 of Wally Tierheimer, but up front, side by side for the race lead, Adam Eisenhower, Tommy Massey, side by side, and Massey on the inside, Eisenhower on the outside, still side by side.
I told you earlier, Sean, Adam Eisenhower, he is going to be the man to beat. He is fast here tonight. He is all over the back bumper there of Tommy and Massey. He is going to get to the outside. We got a car spinning on the inside. Caution is out. That is going to end the race, I do believe.
Oh yeah, that involved the 44 of Damian Crump and the 7 of Gary Woobot involved. And it actually did not start with them. It started up front and they just ended up being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Do you see anything, Dave, the initiation?
Well, I'm taking a look here. I know one car went flying through the infield there. It's going to be the 31 of Andrew Riley. So let's take a look here at Andrew Riley, see what happened. Oh, let's take a look here as he was riding. Looks like the 80 got into the wall. The 13 of Eli Green had to check up, came down to try to go around him. Andrew Riley was there, and he was up in the middle of the track. That is going to be the final caution of the night, because I do believe this is going to end the race here, as Tommy Massey is our current leader, Adam Eisenhower second, Dirk Staliker sitting in 3rd position.
Oh man, yeah, very, very unfortunate indeed for all the drivers involved in that. Very, very sad ending for them. But look forward to seeing these drivers back again next week at Kansas Speedway. Toyota Tundra 250, a more complicated track, so it's going to bring the drivers out of these drivers, even more I should say, it's going to bring the racers out of these drivers next week at Kansas Speedway. But going back up front here, leading is the 05, Tommy Massey was able to maintain the lead against Adam Eisenhower, who was all over his back bumper those last couple of laps, and Dirk Staliker 3rd, Wally Tierheimer 4th, Timothy Hamlet 5th, Jay Pryor 6th, Eli Green 7th, Garrett Hamlinger 8th, Gary Woolbot 9th, Caleb Daniels 10th, Leandro Castro 11th, James Peterson 12th, Christopher Smith 13th, Jeremy Rigney 14th, and Travis Pryor in the 15th place position. But we'll give the drivers until the checkered flag flies, because these results are not yet official. They are unofficial.
Yeah, in order for us to go green flag racing though, Sean, we have to have the pace car lights off this time by, because it'll be 2 laps to go. So for us to go back green flag, we have to get the 1 to green this time by.
Fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. Fingers crossed. Moment of truth. Pace car this time by. Turn the lights off. Turn the lights off. Nope, Dave, the lights on the pace car do turn on. They do not turn off. With that said, the race will end under caution. And Tommy Massey, Dave, very, very happy and gets his 2nd win, round 2, right here at Atlanta Motor Speedway after winning his first race last week at Daytona. Great start by Tommy Massey. And great job to these drivers. It was a tough track. The drivers were very, very pushy, tight in the beginning. But then as the track rubbered up and the outside line came into play, the inside line was no longer the place to be, which made the machines handle even worse than they were to begin with. And that did really impact impact the driving styles of these drivers, trying to pretty much keep these machines in check more than they tried to race each other. And that was quite the challenge for these drivers tonight. But we'll be looking forward to a good race next week as well at Kansas Speedway. Toyota Tundra 250 by the Extreme Motorsports 99. And we are losing some drivers every time for the night. Andrew Riley, Rick Mason, Damian Crump. We look forward to seeing these drivers back again once again next week at Kansas Speedway. And the white flag flies this time by Tommy Massey, having a Sunday drive at pace speed, which is 65 miles an hour. And no changes here in the standings just yet. And the start-finish line here is approaching. And ladies and gentlemen, we are trying to get the picture back up. We do apologize for the technical difficulties. And one driver gets the wave around the pace car here. That's going to be the 79 of Thomas Jowers Jr. going from 2 laps down to 1 lap down here before the end of the race. Great job to Thomas Jowers Jr. and the Jowers Racing crew. But right now, Tommy Massey entering turn 3 for the final time this time by. So let's get it done. Exiting turn 4 this time by Tommy Massey. 05 brings this thing home unchallenged at 65 miles an hour pace speed. Adam Eisenhower second, Dirk Staliger third, Wally Tierheimer fourth, and Timothy Hamlet in the 5th place position. And that rounds up the top 5 this far, and the final results, the final top 5 of tonight's race. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned. We'll be interviewing the top 3 drivers and a special guest, Tommy Massey, Adam Eisenhower, and Dirk Staliger. Stay tuned. We're trying to locate the drivers here. We are joined by Tommy Massey, Adam Eisenhower, and Dirk Staliger, and a special guest, the 13 of Eli Green. But we will start with tonight's race winner, 2-time winner twice in a row, week after week. Daytona to Atlanta Motor Speedway, the 05 of Tommy Massey. You got a copy of that, Tommy?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
How you doing tonight?
I'm really thrilled, man. I did not expect to pull off a back-to-back win, but hey, I'm happy.
And Tommy, you did not only pull off a back-to-back win, but you were the heaviest mover here in tonight's race, gaining the most spots overall. You did start in dead last, pretty much in 34th, and finished in first place, gaining 33 spots overall. And I should admit, man, last week you changed up your strategy. You did something you've never done before, or something we've never seen you do before. I should say something you don't really do. Be in the front in the beginning of the race, but ended up still winning the race. And tonight you went back to your old strategy, keeping a low profile in the beginning of the race, and then pouncing towards the last stages, the last 20-30 laps. But tell us about your strategy that worked out so well tonight.
Missed a lot of the problems and troubles, I guess, but I didn't intend to start in the back. I really wanted to start up front, but I messed up on qualifying and hit the wall, and it forced me to start in the back. But the the track was really good. The high line was my better line, and that's where I was making a lot of time up during the race once I got up in the high groove.
Oh, copy that. And speaking of the high side there, Tommy, we had some drivers getting very, very tight, and the tightness of the machines seems to have worsened by the end of the race. Basically, were you having any of those issues being pushy tight?
No, I didn't have that at all. I mean, it was maybe on the long run. We had one long run that probably got a little bit there, but other than that, it was great.
Oh, 10-4, man. Very glad to hear that despite the other drivers having that trouble, you were able to change up your driving style and not have the problems they were having. And once again, congrats on your success twice in a row. Daytona to Atlanta, and now next week going to Kansas Speedway, an even more complicated track, Kansas Speedway One Groove Racetrack. What are expectations for next week?
We'll just have to show up there and see what we got. I don't know about that track. I don't run it very often, but yeah, anything can happen, you know.
Just gonna have to bring your A game as usual, man. And tonight, that did pay off just like it did last week. Well, Tom, any final words before we let you go?
No, thanks for putting on a great race for us. The league and your telecast of it. It's really enjoyable to watch all this.
Well, congrats once again, Tommy, on your success here tonight at Atlanta and last week at Daytona. We look forward to seeing the exact same performance from you next week at Kansas Speedway. Have a good night, buddy. Go celebrate. And that was the 05 of Tommy Massey, tonight's race winner and last week's winner. But next in line is an Eisenhower Racing driver, 86, Adam Eisenhower. You got a copy there, Adam?
I do, Sean. Good evening.
How are you doing tonight?
Doing great. Happy with the second.
Oh, man. If that caution had not come out, we knew that you were going to have something against leader 05 Tommy Massey. That caution did end up catching you at a very bad time as you were trying to make some moves against the Massey for that race lead. But how's your race tonight? How's your experience compared to last week?
I thought I had a pretty good race tonight, involved in a couple incidences. I think we had some simultaneous contact. I got in the back of Eli in a turn, sort of a racing incident kind of thing. So Eli, I think he's in the booth here. Apologies for that. But yeah, I had a great race running up in the front. Happy with the way the car ran, how the car handled, and I only had about 3 laps on 4 fresh tires there. So I definitely had something for the 05. Should the race have gone green a couple more laps.
Oh man, most definitely, but it's still an amazing performance on your part, despite some of the bad luck you had here in tonight's race. You were still able to get that brand new machine and be out here for be out there when it mattered the most towards the very end. Very, very impressive. And like we talked about last week, you did not have the best race, but you finished in the 9th place spot, still in the top 10. And tonight you did end up upping it a notch, going to 2nd place, gaining 7 spots from last week. And with that said, buddy, where should we expect to see you at Kansas next week?
Hopefully consistency. I think that's the key to this to racing in general, is patience and consistency. Last season was my first season. Took me a little while to get that and not get all fired up and go after stuff right away. And towards the end of the year, I really settled in with a good groove and continued on through this season. So that's just what I look for. Just slow, patient, consistency, and staying out of trouble. And I think that'll have good net results.
Well, congrats on your success once again tonight there, Adam, and we look forward to seeing more from you, more great performances from you like tonight as the season progresses, and next week too at Kansas Speedway. So buddy, go celebrate, and see you again next week at Kansas.
All right, thank you guys, appreciate it. Thanks to ExtremeMotorsports99.com, all the admins who put this on, and most importantly you guys up here who make us feel like celebs. Thanks, man.
And that was the 86 of Adam Eisenhower with the Eisenhower Racing crew. And next in line is the 47 of Dirk Staliker, a driver who had some damage on his machine for more than half the race, but still was able to finish on the podium in 3rd place tonight. Get a cup there, Dirk?
Yeah, I got you, Sean.
How you doing tonight?
This was a really interesting one. I had a lot of speed off the get-go. I mean, I got that second place qualifying spot, but it was tough to pass out there. I don't know what was up, but I had a hard time whenever I got around anybody. Got caught up in a couple wrecks, and really just trying to fight through for a good finish. I'm really happy with that third place. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how all that happened, but I'm glad to bring it home in a good result.
Oh man, yeah, we are glad to hear that as well. I mean, to hear about your success despite you having some trouble with that machine on the outside line. And what changes did you have to make to be successful, basically, on your machine to make it work so you can be here for the very end?
Yeah, I really just had to figure out how to get around people. I had a tendency to overdrive the corner, specifically going into 3. And if I got in a little bit off the line, I tended to drift up the track quite a bit, and that was one of the bigger adjustments I had to try to make, was avoid doing that, keep it back up the entry quite a bit more to really let it glide through and get a good run off. So that, just trying to figure out how to keep speed going around other cars and as the tires started to wear was difficult. I started to get a handle on it as it went on. A couple more laps, I don't know, maybe it would have had something for the leaders, I don't know, they were running well, but it would have been fun to race it out and see what happened.
Oh, most definitely, but still an amazing performance on your part. You did start second tonight, finished third, no complaints there, man. Started in the podium and finished right here on the podium here in the top 3, and we are glad that you were very, very successful tonight, despite having some trouble there and having to make some adjustments on your machine. You were able to be very, very successful tonight. And Dirk, it seemed as though, with the changing track conditions, the handling of the machines kept getting, it was getting good for some, but not so much for others. But how do you feel the machine, the track condition, the track state over time impacted you?
So this track really falls off as you get a couple laps on the tires. I mean, the 10 laps, you're down, I don't know, 3/4, almost a second off the lap times. So that really rewards those who can save the tires early in the run. And I am not great at that. I'm really trying to work on that aspect of it. A couple runs there off the start, I tended to wear the tires right off on the first couple laps and fell back quite a bit. I think it was the end of that first or second run, dropped about 6 spots at the end. So that's really the big thing you had to worry about here. The old pavement and just really tears them up, and gotta make sure you have equipment left for the end of the race if you're going to go anywhere.
Oh, most definitely. You absolutely do not want to be a sitting duck or act like you're sitting on jack stands here in the long run. And yeah, very, very nicely said, and very smartly said at the same time. Spoken like a well-experienced driver that you are. And once again, congrats on your success tonight here, Dirk. Going from second place to third place, despite some bad luck throughout the whole entire race. Got your brand new machine towards the very end, and was able to finish your race with a brand new machine. Not a single scratch on that beast. Very, very nice to see. Well, buddy, next week we'll be going to Kansas Speedway. What do you feel you have to do for that track? Because Kansas seems to be one of the toughest tracks that you guys run here with the Extreme Motorsports.
Yeah, Kansas is tricky. I'm gonna try to put in a lot of practice because you really need it there. It's gonna be difficult when you get around other cars trying to make a move forward. So, getting a good qualifying spot and really just getting comfortable with the tire wear and keeping the car underneath you as you go on the run is something I'm gonna really shoot for next week.
Oh, copy that. And we look forward to seeing you 2 spots higher next week, Dirk, on the pole, winning your first race of the season right there at Kansas Speedway. Well, Dirk, any final words before we let you go?
Nah, just thanks to everybody out here who put on a really good race. Admins, you guys up in the booth, really appreciate that. It's a lot of fun to come out here every Monday, and I'm glad to keep bringing this 47 car back in the podium.
Congrats once again on your success there, Dirk. Go celebrate, you earned it, and see you again next week at Kansas.
Hey, thank you.
And that was the 47 of Dirk Staliker. And now we have the honor of speaking with the 13 of Eli Green, who kept a very, very low profile tonight as well. Get a cup there, Eli?
Yes, sir.
How you doing tonight?
Good, how about you?
Oh, doing good too, thank you. Well, Eli, tonight, once again, you kept a very, very low profile, but then towards the very end, you ended up finding 5th gear. How's your race tonight? How's your experience compared to last week?
Last week I was running pretty good, but I just made that end of the race mistake there, and that cost me another race. But this week I held it at the back a lot more. Was pretty patient and just kind of got lucky and got to the front there at the end. So.
Oh man, very, very glad to hear that, and glad the strategy worked out, you staying in the back, staying out of trouble, and being there for the very end of the race. And how did the machine treat you tonight? Did the machine meet your expectations?
It did better than I thought it was going to do, you know. There was times when I was thinking I was going to drop to the back when I was trying to get back towards the middle or the front, you know. It was just, it got tight, but it was pretty good for the most part, and no, I don't think there's much more I could have done to get to go faster.
Oh, copy that, brother. Well, we do still commend you on your success tonight, man. Going from 27th place to 6th place, right below the top 5 and still in the top 10. Very, very impressive. And you are headed the right direction. But Eli, next week we hope to see you 5 spots higher. Hopefully you can have your first win at Kansas Speedway. And speaking of Kansas, what do you think you have to do to prepare for that track?
I'm going to have to put a lot of practice in because I know I'm definitely not the best at Kansas. But I mean, last year I did finish highest. That was my highest race I ever finished last year in the K&N car. But still, it's just a difficult track for me, so I'll have to do a lot of practice.
Oh, 10-4. Well, that sounds like we should look forward to seeing you have your highest finish right there at Kansas next week. So that's going to mean way above the 6th place spot. That is very, very good to hear. I look forward to seeing your performance at Kansas Speedway next week, Eli. And Eli, any final thoughts or shout-outs you'd like to give before we let you celebrate?
Yes, thanks to Garrett Robinson for helping me there at the race. And thanks to Harpoon Design for my paint scheme on my car, you know. And that's about all. Thank you guys for everything you do. And I'd like to thank the admins.
Well, Eli, congrats on your success once again. We look forward to seeing you again, once again, 5 spots higher next week at Kansas Speedway. So good luck to you. Well, you don't need the luck. Go celebrate, buddy, and see you next week.
Thank you.
And that was Eli Green. And that rounds up interviews. Eli Green, Dirk Staliker, Adam Eisenhower, Tommy Massey from 6th place, 3rd place, 2nd place. Tommy Massey backwards, and Tommy Massey having a second win right here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. That was an amazing race, ladies and gentlemen. We do hope that you guys enjoyed it, because we definitely had an amazing time broadcasting it, bringing it to you live right here at Atlanta Motor Speedway Round 2 of the Extreme Motorsports99.com Pro K&N Series, the Advocare 500 by the Extreme Motorsports 99. And once again, tonight's race winner, all fired, Tommy Massey. And we also want to commend the heavy movers tonight. Tommy Massey from 34th to 1st place. We had Wally Tierheimer from 20th to 4th. Timothy Hamlet 31st to 5th. Eli Green 27th to 6th. Gary Woolbosch 28th to 8th. We had Leandro Castro 16th to 10th. James Peterson 30th to 10th. Jeremy Rigney 35th to 12th. We had Max Brady 34th to 15th. Also Jay Pryor 23rd to 16th, including Andrew Riley 29th to 19th. Well, next race, ladies and gentlemen, next week will be the Toyota Tundra 250. That's Toyota Tundra 250 at Kansas Speedway, the One Groove racetrack, one of the most complicated tracks that's ever been created, followed by Dover International. So it's gonna make things extra interesting. It has been known to be a one groove racetrack. Gonna be seeing exactly how these drivers handle it. Once again, Kansas Speedway. The next race is tomorrow night, Extreme Motorsports 99.com Camping World Truck Series Round 2 right here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. That's going to be the Active Pest Control 200. That's the Active Pest Control 200 by the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Camping World Truck Series at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Well, thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of the action here tonight and every night that the Dre Broadcasting Network goes live right here on the Dre Broadcasting Network, including the Extreme Motorsports Series, the Pro K&N Series, including the Truck Series. And without you guys, we are nothing. We can never thank you guys enough. For those new viewers out there, welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network. And for all those existing viewers and returning viewers, welcome back to the Dre Broadcasting Network. We are glad to have you all, both new and old. And keep coming back. We do thank you. And once again, Can never thank you guys enough. I am Sean Zulu and David Everly behind the cameras, and a big shout out to Extreme Motorsports 99 for having the Dre Broadcasting aboard the action train. We look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow night with the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Camping World Track Series right here at Atlanta, the Active Pest Control 200. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.